There's a lot of hype of people using AI to code, how AI helps them code so much quicker, how businesses can reduce the number of developers because of AI, how people can just develop apps from scratch without using developers. So in this video, I want to talk to you about my experience of using AI to code. I'm actually here in Jeju Island today as I'm doing some traveling throughout Korea, throughout Asia. We went to a market earlier and also Starbucks to do some work. And then our day is ending, so I just wanted to make a video as I walk around in the evening time. So the AI tools that I've used before includes ChatGPT, I got the paid version, Cursor, the code editor, I have the premium version for it. So those are the two that I paid for. The free ones I've used is Perplexity, DeepSeek, Gemini, and then I used it when it kind of first came out, ChatGPT. And at first I thought how cool it was, how cool it just generates you the code, you can prompt it, and it'll give you the code you asked for. But then when I started using it professionally on projects that count, I quickly saw the limitations of it. A lot of times the code is wrong, it doesn't use the right versions of technologies, it doesn't take into account best practices, it doesn't take into account security. The bigger you ask the prompt, the more room for error it has. If you ask it to create an entire app, it's also hard to maintain it. It's hard to, it might not interpret what you're saying or what you have in your vision. And then if you want changes to it, it's hard to be changed. So it didn't work out as well as people said that they use it for. So I've learned to use it in a narrow focus, just be kind of specific of what I'm using AI for. And I really have to emphasize the style, the format of the code I want. Cursor is good that it can predict the patterns of the code I'm writing, so it can auto-suggest it for me. So that's my experience. I remember I had a conversation with a senior developer, and I asked about his opinion if he uses AI to help him code. And he talks about how he doesn't really use it that much. So at the highest level, like, his coding challenges are tough. And a lot of times that the code is wrong that he gets. And if he does use it, he might not understand the code. And later on, if there's a problem occurs, he still has to go back to understand it, or take him just the same, if not more time to debug it, to understand what's going on. So he just relies on himself rather than AI as much. I've also noticed that a lot of students use it to help get through coding boot camps when I was tutoring code. And then coming from a boot camp myself, I understand how tough a boot camp is. There's a lot of time pressure, there's stress, people are moving fast, and the students will rely on ChatGPT to complete their assignments at the cost of understanding the fundamentals. So they'll just use it to try to get the projects done. But then the code is wrong. It doesn't do exactly how you want it. And then there's multiple ways you can code. So you might code in a different way than what you have learned. And since you're new to it, you might not understand the way that it coded for you. And they would come to me asking for help. And I could just tell that they use ChatGPT to do the project for them. It's kind of like using a calculator to do math, but first you need to know how to do the calculations by hand before relying on a tool. So it could be tough on them. So AI is good if you just use it in a narrow scope, and it can help you with the predictable patterns of code. But you shouldn't rely on it too much in the beginning levels. When you're still learning the code, you should be able to do it without AI first, And then at the highest level, AI code probably doesn't even help that much because of how difficult the problems are. That's all I wanted to talk to you about today. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more videos as I talk about coding, business, and traveling.